Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 7, chapter 73. Deha tu Sangatu Jagat Astu Iti Vida Satriya Nityaha Purusho Neti Atat Yajan Dehastu Sarvasangatu Jagatastu iti Vidha Purusho
Trivavidya Purusho
Neti Neti Jata
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Yastu Sarva Sangato
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Jagatastu Iti Dina
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Vidya Purusho
Trivavidya Purusho
Neti Neti Jata
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Yastu Sarva Sangato
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Jagatastu Iti Dina
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Vidya Purusho
Trivavidya Purusho
Neti Neti Jata
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Dehastu Savasangato
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Preva Vigaya Purusho
Atreva Vigaya Purusho
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam Dehastu Sarva Sangato Sarva Sangato Jagatastu Iti Vida Atreva Vigaya Purusho Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Jagatastu Iti Vidha
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Atreva Vigaya Purusho
Atreva Vigaya Purusho
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Dehastu Sarva Sangato
Jagatastu Iti Vidha
Jagatastu Iti Vida
Srimad Purusho
Atreva Vigaya Purusho
Neti Neti
Neti Neti Tattvatyajam
Deha,
Deha
body.
Body
Two,
Two
but. Sarva Sangataha,
Sarva Sangato
the combination of all the 24 elements.
A combination of all the 24 elements.
Jagat,
Jagat
seen to be moving.
seen to be moving.
Tastu,
Dastu
and standing in one place.
and standing in one place.
Iti,
Iti
thus.
Thus.
Vidha,
Vida
two kinds.
two kinds.
Atra eva,
Eva
this matter.
in this matter.
Rigyaha,
Vigya
to be searched for.
to be searched for.
Purushaha,
Purusha
the living entity.
the living entity.
The soul.
The soul.
Na,
Na
not.
na
Iti,
iti
thus.
the
Na,
na
not.
not
Iti,
iti
thus. Iti,
iti
in this way.
in this way.
Atat,
Atat
which is not spirit.
what is not spirit.
Tyajan,
Jajan
giving up.
giving up.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Vedanta Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of bodies for every individual soul. A gross body made of 5 gross elements, a subtle body made of 3. Within these bodies, however, the spirit soul. One must find the soul by analysis, saying, this is not it, this is not it. Thus, one must separate spirit from matter. Purport. As previously stated, Sarnam Yatta Gravashtasu Hema Kshetreshu Yogaistat Adya Abhyat An expert in the study of soul can find out where gold is and then dig that. He can then analyze the stone and test the gold with nitric acid. Similarly, one must analyze the whole body to find within the body the spirit soul. In studying one's own body, one must ask himself whether his head is his soul, fingers are his soul, his hand is his soul, and so on. In this way, one must gradually reject all material elements and combinations of material elements in the body. Then, if one is active, follows the Acharya, he can understand that he is a spiritual soul living within the body. Greatest Acharya Krishna begins his teachings in the Bhagavad Gita by saying, Dehinosmin yatta dehe kaumaram yauvanam yatyara tattha dehantara praptir virastatana muhyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into the body. The self-realized soul is not bewildered, change. Gita chapter 2, text 13. So the spirit soul possesses the body and is within the body. This is the real benefit. The soul never mixes with body elements, although the soul is within the body. It is separate and always pure. One must analyze and understand itself. This is self-realization. 1880 is the analytical process of rejecting. By expertly conducting such an analysis, one can understand where the soul is. Who is not expert, however, cannot distinguish gold from earth, nor the soul from the body. Translation. There are two kinds of bodies for every individual soul. Gross body made of 5 gross elements, and a subtle body made of 3 subtle elements. Within these bodies, however, is the soul. One must find the soul by analysis, saying, this is not it, not it. Thus, one must separate the soul, spirit from matter. Sataitam Tavaditam Bhajanatam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shriya Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinavanu Jagat Krishna Kanchana Guram Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwami Suti Devi Pranamani Hari Jatan Sura Amamanda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachadine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 this is a very interesting text about what the Lord learned in the womb of his mother. It's about self-realization. definition. Taken Prabhupada's perfect. It's interesting that I think, I don't know about how the Sankirtan goes. In history, you usually break the ice with potential listener or seeker of truth by telling them, did you know that you are not the body? Okay? And usually they sort of look at you with eyes open wide. This is what we call statement of contention by many people, because a lot of people are attached to their bodies, as we once were, another I was. And yet, if we look at English grammar, the adjective possession, we know that, for example, we see a blue Ford outside the road, we say it's his car or her car. Okay? Or if I look at the computer now, we say it's your computer. Okay. And similarly, we refer to our parts of our bodies said here as being belonging to somebody. You say my eyes, my nose, my arm, my hand. And in this way, we should treat the body as something that is ours. Right? We say, my body. And this body, as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto, 149, it is acquired by past religious or irreligious acts. Even though we don't know what they were, rather we can't remember them. So here in the Prabhupada mentions the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 13, about the embodied soul continually passing from this body to boyhood to youth to old age. Just as the soul would pass from one body to another at death. Chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is also known as Sankhya Yoga. It's the most important chapter because Krishna actually condenses all the teachings in Bhagavad Gita in that one chapter. Krishna declares that in no other term that we are the inhabitants of the body, but we are not that body. In chapter 2 of Gita, text 20, he says, Najayate Vidyate Vakadachin. And then he finishes that verse with Anyate Anyamane Sharire, which is, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death. And that when the body is destroyed, the soul is not destroyed. Self-realization, or rather the first step in self-realization, is realizing this fact that one's identity is completely separate from the body. It is not a simple case of saying, I am not this body, but actually realizing it. Not so simple, is it? I mean, if you ask most people, who are you, they point to their body. The soul, in fact, is encased inside the bodily dress, you could say. This as you put on your dirty, your saris, your kurtas. That is what the body actually represents to the soul. It is a dress. Um, the famous Christian said that we are spiritual beings having a material experience, and not vice versa. So what is this thing called the soul, the spirit? It is pure consciousness. And our whole lives is to try and re-establish ourselves in our constitutional position as pure consciousness. According living in a bodily concept, our happiness is like a delirious man. Okay. What does a delirious man do? What is a delirious man? Yeah, he's in a completely disturbed state of mind, which is characterized by restlessness, illusions, and incoherence. The logical here. Some say that all activities should be stopped in order to find a kind of Buddhistic nirvana. Because Buddha maintained that due to a combination of material elements, the body had come into existence. And if the material elements are separated and dismantled, and the cause of suffering is removed. So that this contention by Lord Buddha, the combination of matter produces consciousness, is refuted by us. It's almost having a very many large properties. The HMRC, or His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, says, well, we need to tax some of your properties. Now, this concept or this proposed solution to our miseries would be, in this case, to destroy the house, and therefore you would not have any more distress from Her Majesty's customs. The Bhagavad Gita, as you all know, indicates that the body is not the all in all. There is a spirit soul. And what is the symptom of that spirit?
It's eternal, full of bliss and knowledge.
Satchidananda. He's sitting next to you. The symptom of the spirit is consciousness. Yeah. Where defined by the dictionary, it is being the awareness or perception of your surroundings and being able to be responsive. For example, if you when you say someone has left the body, you say he has failed to regain consciousness. As supposed to be unconscious when you get knocked out by somebody else, with a punch. This consciousness that I speak of cannot be denied. Why? Because without consciousness, body would be dead. Without consciousness, your mouth would not be able to speak. Without consciousness, your eyes would not be able to see. Without consciousness, your ears would not be able to hear. Nose would not be able to smell, and your tongue would not be able to taste. So it is true that consciousness is necessary for animation. It's good. The explanation by Prabhupada is that we should analyze our body as one would analyze stone to test for gold. Gold nearly rhymes with soul, actually. And, so the Prabhupada says that studying one's own body, one must ask oneself whether one's head is the soul. It is believed widely by a lot of even saintly Christians that the soul is actually in the mind, not in the heart, which is one of the, which is a wrong conclusion. Because the mind is actually one of the subtle elements of one of the subtle elements. What are the other subtle elements of the intelligence?
Ego.
Huh? Ego. Yeah. Okay. Good. And coming to that, what are the five bodily elements?
Five.
The bodily elements, the gross elements.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether.
The sky. Yeah. Or sky is called. So fire, air, sky, earth, and water. Now the consciousness that I just mentioned is necessary for the animation of the body. Therefore, it is a symptom of the soul consciousness, just like heat or light are the symptoms of fire. You can tell there's fire there by the light it produces and by the heat. Consciousness can be defined as the energy of the soul, the self. And that energy that is produced by the soul is in the form of consciousness. It is the only proof that the soul is present. And this is not just the philosophy of the Bhagavatam, but it is the conclusion of all Vedic literatures. Even impersonalists, followers of Shankaracharya, acknowledge the factual existence of the soul. Only the Buddhists actually contend that at a certain stage that this combination of matter produces consciousness. As I said before, we as a tradition refute the Buddhist contention that the consciousness is a product of a combination of matter. How do we do that? How can we disprove that consciousness is not produced by matter? We can take all the methods that are at our disposal, but we cannot produce consciousness from it. So, for example, you have before you someone who just left the body. Yeah? All the material elements may be present, but we cannot revive his consciousness. His consciousness. Why? Because the consciousness, the body is not a car or a machine. And consciousness is not a spare like the body. Okay? It's something much not easy to explain. It is the energy, and energy cannot be actually created by us. So as long as the soul is present, the body is animate. Okay. Govinda, Bhagavatam, I know there's a film, there was a film, I think, when I was young, so it's saying my age, black and white film with called Frankenstein, with Bela Lugosi. Anyway, there it's based on a story by Mary Shelley, I think. It takes body parts and then it brings it to life, makes it into a man. That never happens. It's fiction, and it's no scientist that ever been able to recreate man. They have tried cloning. I think the famous sheep that was cloned, but didn't live very long. Because they don't really, it just didn't have what for it. It is quite natural that our growth center, as you read in the body are full of defects. We cannot actually perceive the soul. Just as our eyes are not able to see the air we breathe, or the radio waves that let us send messages via WhatsApp, or bacteria that float around in the air. This does not mean that they are not there. And, as explained in the Svetashvatara Upanishad, which Prabhupada in his purport for Bhagavad chapter 2, text 17, the soul, the size of the soul is atomic. It is 1/10,000th part of the tip of and the only way to perceive the soul is by symptoms and effect. Krishna points out in chapter 2 again of the Gita that all our miseries are a result of false identification with the body. He says to Arjuna, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of the heart and of heat and cold, happiness and distress are like the seasons. Just like in the summer, when it's nice and hot, everybody wants to go for a swim in the sea because water feels pleasant. But in the winter, you will have to be pretty crazy to want to get in the sea water because it's really cold, icy cold. This cold of pleasantness is only to do with the contact with the body. It has nothing to do with the soul. The soul, as you know from the Gita again, is cannot be moistened, it cannot be burned, it cannot be destroyed at all. So it's only the body under different conditions feels happiness or distress. The soul's constitutional position is happiness, as in Satchidananda, Ananda being the word. And that is why we hanker quite naturally for happiness. Yet in this body breath, we don't actually find happiness. We are subject to 4 things in life, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. More than that, we also have to confront 3 types of miseries. The klesha. Anybody know what they are?
Miseries from the body and mind.
Yeah.
Miseries from other living entities.
No, that's natural disaster. Bhagavatam, that's the other things. Adhyatmika, which is the body and mind. But it's good. It's also good. We should also remember that the body actually does not belong to you at all, even though you say my body. Because if you remember your Upanishad mantra 1, Ishawacham Yam Sarvam Yat Kicha Jagat Yat Tena Yat Tena Bhutama It is, it says that all animate and inanimate things are controlled and owned by God or by Krishna. That is why it is the body is in effect, we shouldn't say it is our body, it is the body in our care. Now, it's only natural that we seek happiness because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Only in Sanskrit, if you know Sanskrit is a very, very incredible language. And, if you break Krishna's name down into Krish and Na, Krish actually means the greatest, and Na means pleasure. So Krishna has the greatest pleasure, and we, being part and parcel of him, hanker after pleasure. There was a film about that boxer Muhammad Ali, and the song in that film was called "The Greatest Love." And I think the chorus says, "I found the greatest love of all inside of me." I found it really nice because it's actually your soul. The soul's greatest love is actually standing next to him, or which is the Paramatma. So this is, you must remember that the soul, like Krishna, is actually nirguna. It is not contaminated by the material nature. It is not like Krishna, because Krishna is Purna, he is all perfect. Well, we are, in fact, all perfect now in our conscious state. And we are also Nitya Mukta, eternally liberated. So the two words that really strike out in this text here, text 23, is neti neti, where you analyze your body and find your soul. So it is not the eyes, for example. It is nothing that you can see. In fact, the self-realization is not going to the hairdresser and looking at the mirror and saying, "Yes, that's one that's me." Do that more. Something much more beautiful and pure. So let's. I'll stop there. Any questions about self-realization or the body?
It's not a question, it's more of a comment. I was just thinking about when I used to teach yoga, and I used to say to my students about not being the body. And I made the example of if you're walking down the street and somebody says, "Hey, you," trying to get your attention, and you turn around and say, "Who, me?" And you point to the heart, you point to the mind, and anywhere else in the body, you point to the heart. It looked like we resonated with them because we know that we're not the body, but we've just forgotten.
Yes, it was very bad. Yes, I think what do you call it? Krishna says that we are. I think Krishna Prabhupada explains that as if we are seers. We can see something which is not us. The face which is somewhere we don't remember or know. And in the same way, we are conscious also. We have to see it. We see what we are doing actually, what the body is doing. And that's all. It's an observer, and that's just experiencing material life. That's a good thing about I think most younger people are spiritual anyway. As I know. It's a,
Just notice, it seems to be that the process is nothing in the, we don't adhere to nothing, do. But no, our process is separating ourselves from matter. We don't say this is not it, this is not it. It's not normal.
what it, no, but then it's not our practice, but we try not to speak, we don't say that we are this body, do we? You and I, I'm not talking about people outside. We know that we are this, the body is a vehicle for this life. We're driving this thing. And in fact, in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavatam, Krishna actually describes the body as a pea, shaper. And then we are the shaper here, the person that knows his body. And so this is a very big part of our tradition, I believe, that we know that this body has been put in our custody for use in this life. Obviously, you can use it badly or you can use it well. I think that being in this consciousness is using it wisely. And the fact that we use it, the body is a useful instrument in Bhakti Yoga. We use it to serve God. As opposed to the sanctification, like those bodies are used for. So I think it's a very big part of our tradition. We know what the body is used for. That what we can.
It's unusual to hear that because we don't normally hear the process. This is not that's considered nothing, which is what the mind is doing.
Yeah. Well, we don't adhere to it consciously. I think, but I think we practice it without even thinking about it because it's part of it's natural for us to look for this happiness that we hanker after, and it becomes a natural process that we actually serve Krishna with our body, knowing full well this is not ours. You don't need to analyze. I think that it's already been analyzed. The fact that we are in Krishna consciousness is a conclusion that we've done a lot of analysis. So therefore, I think it's devotees of Krishna. We don't actually need to continue to tell ourselves, "This is my arm or my elbow." We just do it as something that's natural. You think that this verse that says that we should actually spend, I think it becomes pretty morose. We actually just keep saying, this is not me or that.
Yeah, just not, it's a much harder process. To go around saying this is not that, rather than just to act in constitutional position. And
Yeah.
more aware, we become more detached. There's knowledge and detachment in common with us. If you spend the time to slow up Krishna, then you should.
Tidak punya human.
Young, begun. There's knowledge and protection will come.
Janayati Vairadhyam Jnanam Sevitam.
That's our process.
Vasudeva Bhuti Bhakti Yoga Prayodhita. Janayati Astu Vairadhyam Jnanam Sevitam.
And we get knowledge and possession that way. Rather than saying it's not good, it's not good. We say this is what the soul is doing. I'm doing this. I'm not having the body in the center.
Yes. I think we all, I don't know, I mean, I think one begins become conscious of the self, or fully conscious. Before you become fully conscious, you actually ask yourself, what are you? You may not go, point by point through the anatomy from finger to elbow, but first of all, everything is contemplated. It's the body's controlled by the mind. So, I think the first question you ask is mind. And yet, that's the conclusion a lot of Christian traditions have come to. The soul actually resides in the mind, which is wrong. Because all senses of the body are how you call final root in the mind. But that is the wrong root to nurture. The root is the heart. Because Krishna says more intelligent than the mind. Soul.
Also, like about the gratification is your intelligence from your intelligence, how your intelligence is your mind.
3, 4, no.
3, 4, 3. Thank you.
Indriyani Paranyanu Indriya Paranamanu. Manasattu Parabuddhi Yogude.
Any more comments, questions? Yes.
You were mentioning, Prabhu, we are Nitya Mukta. What does that mean?
We are the soul is not us. We like God, our soul, we should say. Nitya is forever. Mukta is liberated. We are encased in this gross body, which is not, which is our condition. The soul is actually in its original state. Nitya. Can't think of the way because I can't remember. No, I can't remember where it's from. It is in scripture. Anything else? Bhagavatam ki
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Govinda Ram Prabhu ki.
Yeah.